call meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Kevin Merritt.
Here.
Ed DeBoer.
Here.
Monica Hargenreiter. Here. Ronnie Irwin.
Here.
Natasha Manning.
Here.
Sean Murphy.
Here.
Jeff Rose.
Here.
Tammy Silvas.
Here.
And Jerry Betterall.
Here.
Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comments regarding the agenda tonight. We have, the only one that signed up was Frank Schreck. Go ahead, Frank.
Nice to see everybody. My reputation probably precedes me. I'll read this and then I have a couple of statements at the end if that's okay. I'm a graduate of Corcoran High School. 4 of my children graduated from Corcoran. 8 of my blended family graduated from Meadville, and I also served on this board for several terms. The loss of several major employers has caused more than the usual of our younger population to move out of the area. I understand that we need to acknowledge a changing economy. I attended a one-room school and I feel that that provided a good education, basic education. I'm not advocating for the return to the one-room schools. However, the push for a consolidation of schools by the Pennsylvania Department of Education has not produced good results. If children learn by what they spend their most time doing, then we are teaching them to ride a bus and doing that very effectively. Busing the Corcoran students to Meadville would make a long ride for students, particularly from the New Lebanon area and others out that way. We would reduce the opportunities of many students to participate in school activities. Neighborhood schools, small classes, and good teachers are the best for the students, their families, as well as the communities. From a facilities cost standpoint, possible suggestions might include moving Corcoran Elementary to the high school and having grades kindergarten to 12 in different parts of the same building. And in Meadville, move the middle school to the high school and use the middle school to consolidate your elementary schools. And also save the 2 in-town schools. Consider the bus savings in buses and the like on that. In some instances, it may make better sense to have teachers travel between the schools and integrate Zoom technology to reach classrooms in other locations rather than busing hundreds of students. Please, no bubblegum fixes, and put students and their families first. Don't be afraid to think outside the traditional educational box. Now today in the paper, I don't know whether anybody read it, a former principal in this district had some very good suggestions as well as what to do and what not to do. The whole time I was on this board, I had absolutely no use for PDE. I think all they try to do is make us all the same, and in the process of all their testing, we end up in a declining situation. One that I don't see any way to reverse. And I'm sure you all are well aware, it's not Crawford Central anymore. There's kids going to Erie out of this school district. There's other schools in this district that are prospering. And if you're gonna make life miserable for some of these students, you're gonna lose more students. Now, do I like that? No, I believe in public school. But you'd better be aware of your environment. If you don't, well, think of when I was on the board. One of the biggest mistakes that was ever made was building on to every one of these schools. We did all but Neeson Hill. What's the result of what you're dealing with? Is it this week or next? East End. We remodeled it. It lasted 2 years. We had to go through endless BS and meetings to get it closed. PDE meetings. Again, just make sure history does not repeat itself. And your kids are getting a good education, but it could be a lot better. And thank you folks for being on the board. Thank you for what you do, and do the best you can. Thank you.
Thanks, Frank. Student representatives to the Board of School Directors, Cochrane Junior Senior High School, Tessa and Emmeline.
Good evening. It is nice to see you all again. As winter sports are finishing up at Cochrane High School, spring sports are already underway. For basketball, both girls and boys teams recently qualified for the District 10 playoffs. The girls ended their season 12-10 with a loss of 38-32 against Sagertown in the opening round last Wednesday. The boys received a bye in the first round, then played Rocky Grove on Friday. They won 48-47 and are scheduled to play in the semifinals tomorrow against Sagertown at MASH. Along with basketball, Brady Rind, a CHS senior on the boys basketball team, also recently reached 1,000 points in his high school basketball career. 8 wrestlers have qualified for districts, and we had 4 qualifying for the NW Regional Wrestling Tournament. They will be competing on Friday and Saturday at Sharon High School. Along with that, we also have 2 junior high wrestlers who qualified for the PJW Junior High State Championship. It will be this weekend in Johnstown, PA. Our girls volleyball, junior high volleyball, is also starting, and they have 2 scrimmages coming up. One today against Conneaut Middle School and one tomorrow at Maplewood Junior Senior High School. On the other hand, our clubs and activities has also been going well.
The marching band will hold their annual Vera Bradley bingo event on March 22nd, which will help fund uniforms, props, and anything else during the season. Tickets are $25, doors will open at noon, and bingo starts at 1 p.m. The Student Council recently presented a check of $146.26 to Center for Family Services. CHS students raise this money to give back to the community and help support families in need. Student Council also recently hosted the Red and White Dance, which was a hit. Sophomores Leah Winner and Allie Hosick attended and performed in the PMEA District 2 Band Festival at Fairview High School, and sophomore Emma Myers attended the PMEA District Chorus Festival, where she achieved 11th Chair Soprano 2. STEM Academy held a meeting last week where they discussed requirements to earn a certificate and what will happen in STEM. Any interested students in grades 9 through 12 were able to attend and ask questions. December 9th, the junior class headed to Pittsburgh for a day that perfectly blended history, culture, and a lot of school spirit. They started the morning at the South Shore thrift shopping and eating. Next, they headed to the Heinz History Center and got a hands-on look at Western PA's heritage. From there, the students spent the afternoon ice skating. The highlight of the night was the Penguins hockey game. Not only was the energy incredible, but the whole group made it on the Jumbotron. We hope you all have a good rest of the month. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Mead Reuter Senior High School, Emma and Ava.
Good evening. Ava McGowan is filling in for Natalia today. We hope you're all doing well. Since the last meeting, there have been many new things going on at MASH.
Starting off with clubs, there have been plenty of opportunities for involvement to keep students attending meetings and staying up to date with their clubs and activities. Key Club hosted a successful blood drive February 6th, where any student above the age of 16 had the opportunity to give blood and help save lives.
Key Club also hosted a meeting to make Valentine's Day cards for the residents at Westbury, and recently made encouraging signs to put up in the hallway for the Unified Bocce team. The Unified Bocce team has finished off their season after making it to playoffs, but unfortunately coming short in the first round. They were being cheered on by the Unified Bocce cheer team, a new addition this year. Everyone involved had a great time.
Student government hosted a winter sports recognition PEP assembly, following a spirit week with dress-up themes every day. During the PEP assembly, all of the teams had a chance to speak to the school and encourage involvement and support at their games.
Wrestling Districts was held at Clarion University last Saturday, where seniors Ryder Say and Jacoby Thompson, junior Cameron Overly, and freshman Jackson Bray Bender all made it to regionals. Girls basketball wrapped up a successful season, and the boys' playoffs are home tomorrow night. And the swim team had districts this week.
National Honor Society has begun to organize their induction ceremony for the new inductees later this year. Outside of NHS, those who volunteer have the opportunity to help organize Baccalaureate, a church ceremony hosted on the night before graduation. Our MASH mock trial team is headed to the district semifinals at the federal courthouse on Wednesday, making them especially successful this year. Thank you, and we look forward to the next meeting.
Thank you. And the middle school is not here tonight. Okay, approval of the minutes. Resolved, the Board of School Directors, Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following minutes. The regular board meeting of January 26, 2026. Special committee meeting of the whole of February 11th, 2026. And the committee of the whole meeting of February 16th, 2026. And before I ask for a motion, Kylie, just on your attachments, you have attachment 2 summary Monday, 2/11. And whether you need to fix that later, but just I wanted to point it out. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Jeff, is there a second?
Second.
Ron? Any questions on any of those? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
Aye.
Motion carried. Committee reports, Tammy?
Hi. Approval of the second and final reading of personal finance. Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the second and final reading of personal finance attachment 4. I so move.
I second.
Sean? Any questions on that? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the Tobacco Resistance Unit Club, Flaminville Area Senior High School, attachment 5. I so move.
Second.
Tasia? Any questions on that? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the dual enrollment agreement with Northern Pennsylvania Regional College, attachment 6. And I so move.
Second.
Monica?
Yes.
Second. Any questions on that? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Extracurricular, Ed?
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following overnight trips. Meadville Area Senior High School to Wexford, PA Regional Orchestra, March 5th through 7th, 2026, at a cost of the district of $1,211.16. You can see attachment 7. The boys volleyball team from Meadville Area Senior High School to the Northeast High School Junior Varsity and Varsity Volleyball Tournament, March 27th through 28th, 2026, at a cost to the district of $2,842.04, attachment 8, and I so move.
Second.
Jeff is the second. Any questions on that? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Buildings and grounds, Ron?
Approval of the CoStar SALT request. Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the CoStar SALT request, attachment number 9, and I so move.
Second.
There's Monica? Any questions? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Finance, Jeff?
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following financial activities: the Treasurer's Report for January, the financial statements, and the payment of bills, and I so move.
Second.
Latasia? Any questions on them? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby adopts the lease renewals with FCCA for West End and Cochrane Elementary Schools, and I so move.
I second.
I have to abstain due to my employment with the FCCA, so I don't need to do a roll call, I can just do voice and abstain. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Abstentions, aye. And I have my signing form for secretary. Motion carries 8-0 with one abstention.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the Fairgrounds rental contract for May 6, 2026 for Remake Learning Days, and I so move.
Second.
Ed? Any questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Resolved that the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the resolution for Public School Facility Improvement Grant Program, and I so move.
Second.
Fantasia? Any questions on that? Keep our fingers crossed that we get a grant. Of course, that won't be until November, by the time we get that award, if we get one, but we'll see. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried. Personnel policy, approval of the second and final readings of the revisions to the following policies. We have policy 204, which is attendance, which is attachment 16. Policy 218.1, which is weapons, attachment 17. Policy 610, purchases subject to bid quotation, attachment 18. Policy 611, purchases budgeted, attachment 19. Policy 805, emergency preparedness and response, attachment 20. Policy 805.1, relations with law enforcement agencies, attachment 21. And policy 805.2, school security personnel, attachment 22. Resolved, the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the second and final readings of the above policies. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Ed, second by Ron. We went over most of those changes to those policies, and anybody have any questions? Not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Then we have a first reading of the revisions to the following job descriptions. The elementary school principal, which is attachment 23. Secondary school principal, attachment 24. Dean of students, which is attachment 25. Assistant principal, which is attachment 26. Athletic director, which is attachment 27. And the assistant athletic director, attachment 28. And again, those are for first reading. They'll be up for second reading next month unless there's some questions or additions we need to make. And then approval of the 2026-2027 school calendar. Resolved, the Board of School Directors of Crawford Central School District hereby approves the 26-27 school calendar, which is attachment 29. And is there a motion?
So moved.
Monica? Ron on the second. Any questions on that? I mean, everything was pretty much pointed out during the committee meeting. If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Motion carried. Acknowledgement of professional employee status. Acknowledgement that under the terms of section 1108 of the school code, the superintendent has notified the secretary of the board that the following people have received satisfactory ratings for their sixth semester of employment and have hereby gained the status of professional employee and will be tendered a professional employee contract beginning with the second semester of the 2025-2026 school year. Madison DeBello and Carissa Locke Williams are the two. Approval of the personnel schedules. Resolved, the Board of School Directors, Crawford Central School District hereby approves the following personnel schedules, which is attachment 30. Approval of Schedule B, professional appointments, setting of salaries. Approval of Schedule C, support staff, appointments, setting of salaries. Approval of Schedule D, extra duty appointments, setting of salaries. Approval of Schedule E, attendance of professional meetings. Approval of Schedule 8, leaves of absences. Approval of, number 6, approval of Schedule I, field trip authorizations. And approval of Schedule M, transportation subcontracted services. And is there a motion?
So moved.
Ed?
Second.
Sean? Any questions on any of those?
The only thing that I want to ask is if we reached out about, to the Seton, about letting them know that we were gonna cover it this time, but look into further.
I was waiting to make sure it got approved tonight. Just
Okay.
something careful.
Yeah, we don't wanna pull anything out from under them that they're expecting, but in the future.
So once tonight was done, then I was gonna make the call.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Not all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. Opposed, same. Motion carried. Administration.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to recognize a couple of our staff members, Sarah Conley, for receiving the National State Teacher of the Year for the Pennsylvania Apple Award. The second is Rachel Miller for the PMEA Citation of Excellence in Teaching Award for District 2. Just want to remind everybody that on March 3rd at 5:30 p.m. at Meadville Senior High School, we will have a special committee board meeting for facilities discussion. The committee also will be televised. Also tonight we had the approval of the school calendar for next year, 26-27. In that calendar we do have 3 snow makeup days. However, letting parents know that the district will be moving towards remote learning days next year for weather-related days. Parents and students will be informed about this process at the start of the next school year. And lastly, Meadville Senior High School on March 10th. From 5:30 to 7:30, we're doing something new this year called Chart Your Course. It's for all grades 9 through 12. And this is prior to our course registration. So we're inviting all students and families to that.
Other public board comments?
I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on the wrestling. So not only did we have a lot of middle school and high school wrestlers make it, which I have some more names, but to the Cochranton varsity wrestlers, they ended in 10th in team points. Like they stated, Cash Morrell got 1st, Braden Williams 4th, Garrett Irwin 5th, Cole Schmidt 6th, and they all move on to the Northwest Regional Tournament next weekend. Meadville Jackson Braybender 1st for District 9-10 AAA champ, Ryder Say 1st, Jacoby Thompson runner-up, Cameron Overly 3rd. They're all moving on to their respective regionals at Canton McMillan, I believe it's in Pittsburgh, all vying to go to the state tournament the first weekend of March. For Meadville Middle School, Aubriana Collins, she's a 7th grader, first year wrestling, placed 3rd, she's going to junior high states. Hank Morrell and Carter Nesbitt both placed 2nd, they're heading to junior high states. And there was also a host of youth from both Meadville and Cochranton, I want to believe 15 or more, that are making it to PJW states and Keystone states. So congratulations to all of them.
Okay. Other board comments?
First off, I want to say stop believing the social media journalists. I know there's people reaching out, still wanting us to rehash the whole East End building decision. And they don't come to the meetings, but things that we need to reach out to them personally, they can come to the meetings. I do want to say that there has been no decisions made whatsoever as far as closing any buildings or anything like that. With that said, if we just want to go by the numbers, our current enrollment is, according to what we was supplied, is 1,539. And it's estimated we're going to lose 60 students per year. So if you just went by the numbers, you could close First District and West End, and that would take us down to just over 1,500 capacity. And our enrollment, by the time we could close those schools, would actually match. And we could then absorb this building into it, into the schools. But that's not what we're doing. We literally are meeting with people. We take and met with we had the committees, and they made recommendations. We met with the teachers, and we heard from all the teachers. We have meetings scheduled with the administration. We're meeting with the support people. And I'm also hearing that we have students that want to meet with us also. And we are trying to check on the logistics of all that. So again, I reiterate, we have not made any decisions. We are gathering information at this point. And then it's going to be the majority of this board that decides that. And if we can't get a majority, it just stays status quo. But with that said, I want to propose the following. I'd like each board member to write down their thoughts. After we meet with everybody, write down their thoughts. And then, of course, they're non-negotiables. I mean, if you say you don't want to close the school down, give a reason to it. You know, whether it's just because it goes past your favorite coffee spot, you know, and you want to pick up your coffee in the morning. I don't care, whatever your reasoning may be. But I'd like the board to put out their non-negotiables also. And then each board member submits it to Kylie down here. She removes the name off of it and puts a number to it. And then whenever we meet at the MASH auditorium on March 3rd, all those suggestions are put on the board. None of the board members sees them ahead of time. The whole public, full transparency. The public sees it the same time the other board member sees it. And then we'll put it on our social media page and website afterwards. But it'd be nice to even have somebody reading it, preferably at least two people. So somebody's just hearing audio only of the meeting, they hear the voice change whenever it goes to the next suggestion. So that way, again, full transparency. These opinions can then be posted, like I said, to the website. Get some public comment period. Then we come back in April and we'll have time to have reviewed the comments. We'll have time to look at everybody else's opinions of what direction the district should go. And everybody, it's in real time. Everything's in real time. And then we'll be able to see where the board comes together on common grounds. And then we can sit there and discuss the pros and cons of those ideas. And then whether it be a special meeting in April or if it's during a regular board meeting in April, you know, we can begin the discussions. And I think that, I mean, we'd have to have at least 5 board members to agree with doing that before, you know, it would come to light, but that's my opinion, how we should move forward.
It would give us a good talking starting place instead of just going into this meeting on the 3rd almost blindly, you know, where would we start with our discussion? So if everyone has their opinions out there, then that could help us.
In regards to meeting with the students, I've reached out to Dr. Gowden, but I don't know how that's going to actually work. But it's something that I met with the 8th grade class at MAMS last Wednesday. And very engaged class. They were asking a lot of questions, which was, I mean, some of it was like mind-boggling. We're talking 8th graders, and they're asking questions that we have discussed here as a board, merging Concord and doing this, doing that. And to be hearing it from students kind of made me think that they're not coming to the meetings, but they're hearing it somewhere. So there has been a lot of community discussion at homes that these 20, 25 kids were asking these questions. But one of them came up, and the question was, when are you going to meet with us as students? When do we get to give our input of what we think should be happening? Which I told them was a very valid question, because they are there. They are the ones that are experiencing what's happening in the classroom, where the education's at. What are we lacking? What do they think where we're lacking? What could we do to improve? I mean, anywhere from safety to what we're offering. So I don't know how that would work because of the logistics, but if it does come to fruition, I would think we'd want to do basically 7 through 12. I wouldn't want to get into elementary schools asking questions, but I think it would be something we could give us some more of an input, especially when we're looking at decision making that's going to affect not only tomorrow, but 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the road where we may be going. And any little bit of information we can get, I think would be well worth it. So, I mean, I've turned that to Dr. Gowden to handle if she can pull that off for us. That's something way above us as board that I think that it can be done, whether it's we start with student councils or we try to, student council, we're just cutting out a lot of kids, that's all. I'd really like to see how we would do that. Maybe our faculty administration can come up with some plan, how we can pull something like that off.
How many lunch periods are there in each school?
Three.
So, I mean, yeah, would that be a potential that we can use lunch period? And I don't know if we could get some type of PA system or not, but.
I have one at Man's.
I think we'll let Ken and the team look at some options, and we could hear it back on the 3rd or whenever, when we can pull that off. And we got time. Time's on our side. I mean, I'm not willing to rush into anything. I want to make sure that we have digested and redigested the info, because there's just so many things that could, and we heard tonight, mistakes that have happened in the past, and I don't want to relive that road that we do something and dang, why did we just do that? And it didn't work.
I agree. My only suggestion, and I know you said you don't want to get into elementary, but if we're considering moving 6th grade to the middle school, I think we should request information from 5th to 11th. The 12th graders are going to be gone, but the 5th grade class is potentially the first class that this would affect, if that makes sense, or even 6th to 11th.
It's funny you asked that question, because I saved a question for them. And I'm not going to give the results of what that was, but my question was, being the product, you're now 8th graders in a school, how do you guys feel moving 6th grade to a middle school concept? And it was across the board, but being put on the spot, someone's talking, and conversations being held, and one of the students said it was funny that I asked, because I just recently read a study and went into detail on this study. I don't know what would prompt a student to read that. I mean, it's exciting to know that they are looking at it, but it was probably a good 50-50 in the room, and they had some very good reasons why you would bring them there and some very good reasons why you wouldn't. And but I just felt that I have some 20-some kids, I want to see what their opinion was and whether they're really paying attention, and they were, and very, very involved in the discussion. It wasn't 1 or 2 students, it went, a lot of students were giving input. So very impressed that it kind of tells me that there's conversation happening, the community's concerned, and if these youngsters are knowledgeable, that tells me that there's either dinner conversation, car conversation, somewhere they're getting involved. So that's what prompted me to think that we really should have some kind of a meeting with them, just to get input. I'm not going to say it's going to be the driving force, but it needs to be considered. So I'll let Dr. Gallagher and her team take care of that.
So where are we at on submitting the ideas to Kylie then? Monica agreed, you know.
We can put something together tomorrow to do that.
Yeah, well, you do something and we can kind of see where we're at and go from there. I'm not really allowed to call on Frank, but go ahead, Frank. You got some?
Yeah, I wish the board all the luck in the world when this auction comes up. Get the stink off of my back as well. And absolutely, whatever you folks do, don't put a new stink on your backs. And remember, what Ron said up there is no going up in population, which was dreamt about when I was on the board. That's not going to happen. And if you go by the size of the families, I think his numbers are generous. I question whether you'll need more than 2 or 3 schools in Mayville, with or without Carpenter. I think you need industry, and most of you folks are too young to realize what was here when I was a kid. In the railroad, the Viscos, Westinghouse, Talon, it was real industry. Now you have benefits to the people who are here, but they don't generate an income like the industries did that we had back then. So, like I say, I wish you all if you don't, just let the grass grow up, shut the water off on it, and walk away from it. I shouldn't put it quite that blunt when it's on TV, but.
I did have one other quick thing.
Go ahead.
I would just suggest if anyone is trying to reach out to the board members, please use our board member emails. They are very easy.
I can't hear you.
If anyone is trying to reach out to us regarding board-related topics, I would ask that everyone try to keep it to our emails. They are very easy to find on the website under the Board of Directors tab. I don't check my Facebook very frequently, especially messages. And I also do like to keep all school board-related material in my school board email if possible, just so I can keep everything straight. I have my work email, I got my personal email. So if I don't keep everything straight, I'll start getting confused. So that's all I have.
Okay, any other board comments? I do want to make one thank you to Meadville Medical Center. During the recent water crisis in the city of Meadville, when First District was closed, first because of the emergency water issue that happened, and then second, the emergency right in front of their building for water as well. The Meadville Medical Center did reach out to those living in the First District attendance area that if they came to the hospital, they'd get a free meal, the students would. I don't know how many they served, if any, but the offer was there, the gesture was well taken, and we as a school district appreciate that, because that would have put those students where we know food is of the essence anymore in some locations. They were out from that, they were out quite a long time. It would have made like 4 days in a row. They would have been, with the weekend, they put them out. So gesture well appreciated. Thank you to Meadville Medical Center, and hopefully we never have to have that again, but if we do, we hope you reach out again.
Yeah, I'm not sure on the exact number. I worked there. That was I believe it was our nursing supervisor, Valerie Wade, who initiated that. But I do believe that some lunches went out because they had made the discussion that if it were to happen again, that they may look into it, like continuing. So, but I can get more information on that as well.
Okay. Any other board comments? If not, a motion for agenda? Or adjournment?
So moved.
Latasia, second? Monica?
Not motion in another agenda.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same? Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned.